We all want to make good decisions, right? And sometimes making a good decision means avoiding making a bad decision. Making good decisions is very important, but avoiding making a bad decision is even more important. In this episode, I'm going to briefly review 8 mistakes to steer clear of, if possible, on the road to and through retirement. With that, I'll go ahead and cue the intro and be right back. Hi, this is Eric Hagen. Would you like to know the secret to prosperity? Well, the good news is I have the answer. The bad news is it's not any one thing. The secret to prosperity is in every decision you make. The Bible calls it steady plotting. I call it common sense. Join me on this podcast as I try to inspire you to make your next financial decision and the one after that a good one. If you're pursuing retirement, you know that it is challenging. It doesn't happen overnight, right? For most people, it takes decades and decades to reach it. It requires thousands of good decisions all along the way. Reaching retirement, reaching financial independence is hard enough without making some common and very avoidable mistakes. Here are 8 big mistakes to steer clear of, if possible. Mistake number 1, no strategy. Yes, the biggest mistake is having no strategy at all. Without a strategy, you may have no goals, leaving you no way of knowing how you'll get there. And then, if you've even arrived. It's kind of like if you were to build a new home. Just imagine for a minute that you hired a builder to build you a new home, and the builder turns to you and says, "Thank you for hiring me to build you a new home. I'm going to go order a bunch of materials, wood, sheetrock, wiring, light fixtures, tile, countertops, etc. And when all the materials show up, we'll put together a home for you." What would you think? You know, my wife and I built a house a few years ago, and I know what I'd be thinking. I'd be thinking, wait. Don't we need to figure out what we're going to build first? Don't we need a blueprint? Now, obviously, one of the first things you do when you decide to build a home is to create a blueprint. This blueprint takes all things unique to you and your situation into consideration. Things like what features you want your home to have, like number of bedrooms or bathrooms, what you want it to look like, how much you want it to cost, and a whole lot of other things. Every new home starts with a blueprint, but not all homes look the same. The same can be said about a financial blueprint or financial strategy. Plus, having one may increase your potential for success both before and after retirement. Mistake number 2, chasing hot investments. Chasing hot investments often leads to despair. You get this big adrenaline rush at the thought of what the new hot investment could do for your financial future. We as humans, we naturally want the path of least resistance. And it's so easy for us to fool ourselves into thinking that one hot investment or one hot idea or one once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is the key to all our financial worries. Steady plotting is the secret to prosperity. What this means is that we create an investment strategy that properly reflects your objectives, risk tolerance, and time horizon. Then we make adjustments based on your strategy. All right, mistake number 3, not maximizing workplace retirement accounts. If you or your spouse is working, you know that you have tax-advantaged ways to save for retirement. Plus, you get free money if your employer offers matching contributions. And even more, saving automatically out of your paycheck is one of the easiest ways to grow wealth. It happens without you even thinking about it. All right, mistake number 4, prioritizing college funding over retirement. Your kid's college education is important, but it may not be the best move to sacrifice your retirement for it. Remember, you can get loans and grants for college, but you cannot get loans and grants for your retirement. Mistake number 5, overlooking healthcare costs. This is a big one. And what I'm referring to here is the potential cost of receiving extended or long-term care. This expense may single-handedly undermine your financial strategy for retirement if you don't prepare for it. All right, moving on to mistake number 6, not adjusting your investment approach well before retirement. The last thing your retirement portfolio can afford is a sharp fall in stock prices and a sustained bear market at the moment that you're ready to stop working. Consider adjusting your life savings in advance of tapping into it so that you're not selling stocks when prices are depressed. Remember, the return and principal value of stock prices will fluctuate as market conditions change, and shares, when sold, may be worth more or less than their original cost. While asset allocation is an approach to help manage investment risk, it does not guarantee against investment losses. You do not want to learn this mistake the hard way. All right, mistake number 7, retiring with too much debt. If too much debt is bad when you're making money, it can be especially harmful when you're living in retirement. Consider managing or reducing your debt level before you get to retirement. All right, and lastly, mistake number 8. Remember, it's not only about money. A rewarding retirement requires more than just money. Good health is way at the top of the list. A few years ago, I was giving a talk on Social Security and all the things you need to consider when electing Social Security. And like a lot of my talks, I offered those in attendance an opportunity to come in and meet and discuss their unique situation. There's one such couple I will never forget. We got to talking and they shared with me that they were in their early 80s and had retired with millions of dollars saved, a very nice home in the area that was completely paid off, as well as a lake home up north that they owned free and clear. What was weird, though, is that they had heard there might be a trick to increase their Social Security by $25 a month, and they were hoping that I knew how to do so for them. See, it turns out they had retired in their early 60s, and as they described it, they did not want to be like other couples that they had seen who were, quote, in their 80s, walking around with canes, unable to enjoy what they had spent decades saving. They wanted to live it up. So that's exactly what they did. They went into retirement planning to spend everything before they couldn't enjoy it anymore. They shared with me stories of traveling the world, giving wonderful gifts to their kids, spoiling their grandkids, and a whole lot more. They lived it up and they spent it all. Yep, they had spent all their savings, sold both properties, and spent everything they got from them. And aside from the stories they have and the wonderful memories that they made, which they loved sharing, all they had left when they came to see me was their Social Security income, which was barely enough to pay rent for their small apartment, buy groceries, and just get by. Now, I would never recommend doing what they did. Their kids were distraught, they had no money for an emergency, no money for care if they needed it, and other things. But one thing I did take from them is the importance of staying busy. They were constantly doing things, seeing friends and exercising their brains. Now, obviously there are exceptions and things that come up that are outside of our control, like illnesses and disease. But what is the saying? A body in motion stays in motion, right? I've seen people retire and have a hard time staying busy. I've seen firsthand a correlation between not staying busy and subsequently having health issues. Make sure you've thought about how you'll stay busy. Make sure you're retiring to something and not from something. Life is more than money. So here's to your good health, to staying socially involved, and remaining intellectually active. That's it for today. I'll look for you next time. Hey, this is Eric again. I want to thank you for taking a few minutes with me here today. Did you find value in today's message? If so, please help me help others and share it. Want more ideas for making the most of your financial future? There are a lot of ways and I'd love to help. Be sure to subscribe here and then go visit me online at www.erichagen.pro. I hope to see you around.